Hello. Wednesday this week I had a 5,000 meter race at a track in the city of Södertälje. I was thinking before the race, should I go for a sub 16:50 or should I go for a sub 17 minute? But then after the race, the 10K race that I had at a track 1 week before, in which I tried to go sub 35:10. And since I didn't do that, I thought, well, 16:50 is going to be way too hard, so let's go for sub 17. I thought this was maybe a 50-50 chance. I thought it certainly was doable, easier than 35:10, 10K. My PR is, or was at least before the race, 17:16. So I thought, well, if I don't get 17, I certainly won't be running anymore. I will be heading into a cycling career instead. But at least it will be a good achievement because I'm gonna beat my PR for sure. I thought so. And then the race started. I knew there were a couple of other guys who I recognized. They were also going to try to go sub 17. The first two laps they went off way too fast for that, while I was keeping my pace perfectly. I think I was maybe half a second before my pace, my goal pace, which was 3:24 per kilometer. And as always in the races, the first kilometer is really nothing happening. It's easy to keep the pace. I mean, not as easy as in a 10K race, of course, because you're running faster, but still, it's quite easy to keep the pace. But then pretty much the same thing happened as in the 10,000 meter race, but a little earlier, of course. It was starting to get harder and harder. I had to put more and more effort to keep the pace. Remember, I have an alarm each 200 meters, so I see exactly if I'm ahead or after my goal time. And it started to get harder and harder, and at half the distance, 2.5 kilometers, I knew I wasn't gonna go sub 17. I knew that. But I thought, okay, I'm only a few seconds behind. I have to run really hard. I have to put in a really hard effort, but still I'm only 4 or 5 seconds behind at the most. So if I can just keep this, and I thought I could at the time, but then I started to lose a second here and a second there, and with the 1K left, I would have to run a 3:27 or something to get a PR, and I pretty much knew I wasn't going to do that. But with only 1K left or only 2 laps left on the track, I thought, why not finish this race anyway? And you never know. So I really put in all I could, but I didn't even beat my PR. I got in at a time of 17 minutes and 18 seconds. So 2 seconds after my PR and 18 seconds after the time I was going for. And remember, my PR of 17:16 is from December 2024. So, what are my conclusions after this? Well, I knew for certain, even if I go sub 17 by a few seconds, it's not going to be enough to continue running. I will instead go into cycling anyway, so I pretty much knew that before the race. But it was still a little bit sad, because 9 months after my previous PR, and I can't even do a new PR. So basically that's 9 months of training in the waste bin, you could say. And I think it is. I trained to PR, I trained to perform. And 9 months of training, that's a long time. And I cannot blame anything in this race. It was almost perfect conditions. It was 14 or 13 degrees Celsius. It was almost no wind. It was a race setting. There was a lot of good guys in the race. So I got a good warm-up. I got a good taper before the race. I wasn't feeling ill or anything. I had a good night's sleep before. for once, I can say. But still, I did not get it, so I cannot blame anything. I really wasn't good enough, or I am not good enough, I have to say. And that's a little bit sad, because I would have liked it to, I would have gone out with a bang, so to speak, not to go out like this. So that's a little bit sad, but I feel very excited to start my biking career instead. But if I have to think about my running performance, I can't believe, I'm in disbelief that I'm not better than this, actually. Because I was improving so fast, and I was going sub 36 for the first time, 35:51 in December 2024, and I was doing this PR there as well. And I mean, I can't really believe that I have not improved since then, because my heart rate is lower on the threshold sessions, and I run them faster. I run my VO2 max session 10 seconds per kilometer faster than I did then. But still, yeah, no, I am in disbelief, really. I cannot understand it. I am eating enough calories because I am keeping my weight. It's not that I'm under-eating. It's not that I'm overeating either. It's not that I'm getting worse sleep now than I did back then. I think I'm getting better sleep now than I did back then. I don't really have any stress in my life that's affecting my performance either. So I really can't understand it. I can't understand how I not improving. Maybe I train too much, I don't know. But I will not find out, because now there's no more running. I do have a local race tomorrow. It's a quarter marathon that I'm running. But that's, if you discount Boston Marathon in April 2026, which I'm going to run, but that's more going to be a fun run. Tomorrow is going to be my last race, and after that I won't be running at all, except for maybe 1.5 weeks before Boston, just to get my legs ready for that. So it's going to be cycling all out, and cycling is actually going better than I thought. I have tried out a couple of harder sessions, and I was able to do a 10-minute interval at 320 watts, and my heart rate was only at 79% of my maximum heart rate. So that indicates that my threshold pace, or my FTP, is higher than that. It's probably somewhat higher than that. My best FTP ever has been 362 watts. Now it's definitely higher than 320, so that's a good starting point. Remember, when I started cycling, I did a ramp test and I had 272. So now I'm getting a head start, and I have about the same time, 10 weeks, to get ready for the national championship. But more on that later. This was just a brief race report, and I will do another race report after tomorrow's race, which is going to be my last ever serious race. Take care.